In early 2023, popular Fox News host Sean Hannity unexpectedly left the network's New York headquarters and relocated to Florida. This sudden move sparked widespread speculation, with some drawing comparisons to Tucker Carlson's previous departure from the network. Various conspiracy theories emerged, leaving many curious about the real reason behind Hannity's surprising decision. The truth, however, was soon to be revealed. Sean Hannity, a popular radio host, recently shared with his listeners that he had moved to Florida and was now speaking from his new home. He explained that one of the main reasons for his move was the state's conservative political climate, which he found more appealing than New York, where his show had been based for years. Hannity expressed his admiration for Florida's political leaders, including Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rick Scott, and Senator Marco Rubio, and said he felt very comfortable in the state's political environment. He had purchased a townhouse in Palm Beach, located just north of the Miami and Fort Lauderdale area, and close to former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in April 2021 for $5.3 million. Sean Hannity, a well-known conservative figure, recently moved to Florida, following a trend among other high-profile conservatives. The reason behind Hannity's move is quite interesting. Palm Beach, where Hannity resides, has strict rules that prevent him from broadcasting from his home there, as confirmed by an official. The town does not allow businesses to operate out of private residences. Furthermore, Hannity's townhouse in Palm Beach is not registered as his primary residence, as per the latest property tax records. The town enforces these rules so strictly that even celebrities have made significant moves. Now, at 62 years old, Sean Hannity is a happy Florida resident living in a Florida mansion. Sean Hannity, a popular media personality, purchased a luxurious waterfront property in Manalapan, Palm Beach County for $23.5 million. This upscale residence is situated on a barrier island, providing breathtaking views of both the Atlantic Ocean and the Intracoastal Waterway. The property was previously sold for $18 million in 2021 and has since undergone extensive renovations, including updated bathrooms, new flooring, and impact-resistant sliding windows. Spanning nearly 12,000 square feet, the mansion boasts 8 bedrooms and 10.5 bathrooms, making it an ideal space for entertaining and accommodating guests. Complementing the home's Florida-inspired charm, the property features a swimming pool, a dock with a new seawall, and a spacious balcony to enjoy the warm weather and picturesque surroundings. The mansion boasts a rooftop observation deck where Sean can enjoy the scenery. It also includes appealing features like a cozy fireplace, a bar for hosting guests, a wine cellar, and an elevator for convenient movement between floors. The property was initially listed for sale in February at $29 million, but the price was later reduced to $25.95 million in October. The online images depict a fashionable residence with expansive windows, a kitchen with dining space, and ample storage. Sean Hannity's home offers lovely water vistas from numerous rooms, including the living space, dining area, and home office. Local real estate experts informed the Journal that the house is in decent condition, but some picky buyers might consider it a candidate for demolition and reconstruction. Earlier this year, Hannity listed his Long Island home for $113,775,000. This 6-acre property in Center Island was quickly sold in June for $12.7 million in cash to a Hannity supporter. Hannity's choice to relocate from New York to Florida was not an abrupt or impulsive decision. Sean Hannity, the radio host, purchased a large 3,800 square foot house in Florida for $5.3 million in 2021. He initially used it as a vacation home, but later decided to leave New York permanently to pursue his idea of freedom. However, the first house did not provide the level of freedom he desired, so he decided to acquire an even larger property in Florida, which is now located just a short 30-minute drive from Palm Beach. The main questions on people's minds are whether Hannity can expand his influence even further in Florida compared to his time in New York, and if he plans to leave his position at Fox News soon. To answer these questions, we need to examine Hannity's impressive journalism career, which began in 1982. Sean Hannity began his career by starting a house painting business. He then became a building contractor in Santa Barbara, California in 1989. While still working as a contractor, he launched his first talk radio show at KCSB-FM, a college station at the University of California, Santa Barbara. The show ran for 40 hours, but Hannity admitted that he was not very skilled at it and felt he performed quite poorly. Unfortunately, his weekly show on KCSB-FM did not last long, as it was canceled after less than a year due to some controversy. During a couple of episodes, Hannity discussed gay and lesbian rights in a way that many found to be quite heated. This led the university board that oversaw the station to reverse their decision after the Santa Barbara Harbor chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union supported Hannity, claiming his First Amendment rights were being violated. After being dismissed from the college radio station without a public apology or more airtime, Hannity took out ads in radio publications, calling himself the most talked about college radio host in America. This caught the attention of WVNN in Athens, Alabama, where he was hired to host the afternoon talk show. He later moved to WGST in Atlanta in 1992, taking over the time slot that Neil Bortz had left for a station in Raleigh. In September 1996, Roger Ailes, who co-founded Fox News, brought Hannity on board to host a new TV show that was initially called Hannity and LTBD, with LTBD meaning liberal to be determined. Alan Colmes was brought in to co-host, and the show eventually premiered as Hannity and Colmes later that same year. Hannity then left WGST and headed to New York, where he filled in for the afternoon host at WABC during Christmas week. In January 1997, WABC decided to give Hannity a full-time spot on their station, placing him in the late-night hours. A year later, Hannity was moved to the same drive time slot he had briefly occupied in January 1998. In 2007, authors Cal Thomas and Bob Beckel described Hannity as a prominent figure among those who create strong divisions in political broadcasting, referring to them as political polarizers deeply committed to a specific candidate, culture, or ideology. Hannity continued to host the afternoon show on WABC until the end of 2013, and since January 2014, he has been hosting the 3 to 6 p.m. slot on a New York City radio station. Hannity's show is a conservative talk program where he shares his views and beliefs on current events and political figures. The Sean Hannity Show started being broadcast nationwide on September 10, 2001, reaching over 500 stations across the country. In 2004, he extended his contract with ABC Radio for 5 more years worth $25 million, ensuring the show would run until 2009. The program became available on the Armed Forces Radio Network in 2006. In June 2007, ABC Radio was sold to Citadel Communications, and by the summer of 2008, Hannity signed a $100 million contract for another 5 years. As of March 2018, his show attracted more than 13.5 million listeners each week, and he was ranked second in Talkers Magazine's 2017 Heavy 100 and made it to number 72 on Forbes' Celebrity 100 list in 2013. In 2007, Clear Channel Communications extended their agreement with Sean Hannity for 3 more years, airing his show on over 80 major radio stations across the country. Then in 2013, Hannity signed a long-term deal to continue broadcasting with Premier Networks. He also made agreements in 2014 to air his show on several Salem Communications stations in cities like Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Dallas. Hannity was also known for co-hosting a political talk show called Hannity and Colmes. Hannity, a conservative commentator on Fox News, often engaged in discussions with his liberal co-host Alan Colmes. While Hannity typically expressed conservative views on political and social issues, he has voiced support for birth control, which has led to heated debates with guests who oppose it, such as Reverend Thomas Tynier from Human Life International. Hannity even stated that if the Catholic Church were to excommunicate him for his stance on contraception, he would consider joining Jerry Falwell's Thomas Road Baptist Church. In January 2007, Hannity launched a new Sunday night show on Fox News called Hannity's America, and in November 2008, Colmes decided to leave the Hannity and Colmes program, which aired its final episode on January 9, 2009. Sean Hannity hosts a show called Hannity, which follows a format similar to his previous Sunday night program. Hannity has written 4 books during his career, with his first 2, Let Freedom Ring and Deliver Us from Evil, becoming New York Times bestsellers. The second book even remained on the bestseller list for 5 weeks. Hannity has mentioned that he doesn't have much time to write. Mark Levin frequently documented his views for his publications while traveling to his radio program. His third book, Conservative Victory: Defeating Obama's Radical Agenda, was published by HarperCollins in March 2010 and became a bestseller on the New York Times list. From 2003 to 2010, he organized freedom concerts focused on country music to raise funds for charity. However, in 2010, conservative blogger Debbie Schlussel claimed that only a small portion of the money raised from these concerts actually went to the intended charity, Freedom Alliance. That same year, the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington filed complaints about this with the Federal Trade Commission and the Internal Revenue Service. The FTC accused Hannity of misleading people by claiming that all the concert profits would go to a scholarship fund for children of fallen or injured military personnel. Additionally, the IRS alleged that Freedom Alliance had violated rules related to its charitable status. The concerts eventually came to an end around that time. Hannity has made a few guest appearances in movies and TV shows, such as a voiceover in The Siege, a cameo in Atlas Shrugged Part 2, and a role in House of Cards. In 2017, he was an executive producer and actor in the movie Let There Be Light, co-starring with Kevin Sorbo. By April 2018, these activities had taken place. Sean Hannity owns a vast real estate portfolio with at least 877 homes worth around $89 million. He acquired many of these properties through loans from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and they are primarily located in working-class neighborhoods. Hannity's approach to managing these properties has been quite aggressive, resulting in a significantly higher eviction rate than average. Reports suggest that his property management team has used the eviction process not only to remove tenants, but also as a way to generate revenue. Although Hannity has a stake in over 1,000 properties, his property managers have stated that he does not actively participate in the day-to-day management of these properties. As the new year approaches, Hannity's views, which are as prominent as his presence on Fox News, could potentially impact his position within the news network. Sean Hannity has been criticized by the Washington Post for often focusing on stories that turn out to be inaccurate and for changing his views over time. The New York Times has pointed out that he delves into a confusing blend of opinions and conspiracy theories. While he doesn't directly endorse these theories like Alex Jones, he still discusses them in a way that keeps his audience excited and believing in them. This approach allows him to deny responsibility for the more outrageous ideas he shares, as noted by the New York Times. The New Yorker even mentioned in 2019 that Hannity has been spreading unsubstantiated conspiracy theories without facing any consequences. During George W. Bush's presidency, Hannity was a strong supporter of the president's decisions. When Barack Obama became president, Hannity devoted more attention to stories that he believed the mainstream media was overlooking, such as questions about Obama's birthplace and responsibility for the Benghazi incident. In 2017, the Washington Post noted that Hannity's primary focus had shifted to supporting Trump, particularly in the years preceding that point. His highly publicized advocacy for Donald Trump likely paid off after Trump won the recent presidential election. Sean Hannity's strong political stances on Fox News could potentially affect his position there. If he engages in controversial or questionable actions, Fox News might be compelled to let him go, similar to how they handled Tucker Carlson. Hannity has faced significant criticism for being overly supportive of Trump during the 2016 presidential primaries, often giving him more airtime compared to other candidates. For instance, Hannity allowed Trump to spread the false claim that Rafael Cruz, the father of Ted Cruz, was somehow connected to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. While Hannity has acknowledged leaning towards Republican candidates, he has not explicitly stated that he prefers Trump over Cruz. During interviews, Hannity tends to emphasize areas where he agrees with Trump or believes Trump is correct, and he often overlooks or defends Trump's actions. When Cruz faced criticism, his relationship with Hannity became tense. During a heated radio interview in April 2016, Cruz suggested that Hannity strongly supported Trump, and Hannity responded by saying Cruz accused him whenever he asked a valid question. In August 2016, Jim Rutenberg noted that Hannity was not just a major Trump supporter in the media, but also acted as an advisor, providing Trump with campaign strategies for months. Hannity openly stated that he wanted Trump to become the next president, and made it clear that he did not consider himself a traditional journalist. In late 2017, Sean Hannity, the prominent Fox News host, described himself as an advocate or opinion journalist rather than a traditional news reporter. This self-identification highlighted the opinion-driven nature of his program, which often heavily favored the conservative political perspective and staunchly supported former President Donald Trump. Hannity's close association with Trump was further underscored when he appeared in a 2016 campaign ad for the then candidate, blurring the lines between journalism and partisan politics. This move drew criticism from those who felt Hannity should maintain a more impartial stance as a journalist. Hannity's unwavering support for Trump has also led to disagreements with other conservative figures who do not share his unwavering loyalty to the former president. Prominent examples include Jonah Goldberg, a columnist for the National Review, and Bret Stephens, a writer for the Wall Street Journal, both of whom have publicly challenged Hannity's staunch pro-Trump messaging. Despite the ongoing nature of Hannity's journalism at Fox News, there has been widespread speculation that his tenure on the network may soon come to an end. The speculation gained momentum after the unexpected departure of Tucker Carlson, another prominent Fox News host from the network. Many believe that Hannity would be the natural successor to fill Carlson's highly sought-after 8 p.m. primetime slot, given his long-standing presence and influence within the network. However, the future of Hannity's role at Fox News remains uncertain, as the network continues to navigate a shifting media landscape and the evolving dynamics of conservative politics. As one of the most recognizable and polarizing figures in cable news, Hannity's potential departure from Fox News would undoubtedly have significant implications for the network and the broader media landscape. The network did not select Sean Hannity for the position, ending the speculation. This suggests the network may not highly value him as much as the public believes. In the corporate world, if the organization does not quickly promote someone to top roles, it indicates they do not fully appreciate their impact and can easily let them go. Instead of Hannity, Fox News chose Jesse Waters for Tucker Carlson's position. Another reason why Hannity may soon leave or be fired from Fox News is due to harassment allegations. Tucker Carlson is facing a major defamation lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems, and he has also been sued for allegedly creating a hostile and discriminatory work environment for a former employee. Meanwhile, Sean Hannity may be the next one in the spotlight, given his history of making questionable comments about harassment. In 2016, Hannity was vocal in defending Roger Ailes when several women accused him of immoral harassment. After Ailes passed away in May 2017, Hannity paid tribute to him, calling him a second father and warning Ailes' critics that he would be ready to confront them in the afterlife. Additionally, in April 2017, Hannity stood up for Bill Shine, a co-president at Fox News. Additionally, there was another notable lawsuit where Hannity himself was directly accused of making a female guest on his popular primetime show feel deeply uncomfortable through inappropriate comments, and even going so far as to allegedly offer monetary incentives to anyone who would agree to go on a date with her. This lawsuit further fueled the perception that Hannity was part of the problem rather than the solution when it came to addressing the rampant abuse of power and sexual impropriety that had become synonymous with Fox News in the eyes of the public. Then, in September 2017, after the high-profile dismissal of longtime Fox News host Bill O'Reilly due to a series of improper harassment claims, Hannity invited his former colleague onto his own show. This decision drew widespread criticism from many within the Fox News staff, who felt it was an inappropriate and misguided move that sent the wrong message. They believed that by providing a platform for O'Reilly, Hannity was effectively condoning his alleged misconduct and undermining the network's efforts to address the issue of sexual harassment in the workplace. During the interview, O'Reilly went on to harshly criticize various liberal media outlets, and Hannity appeared to empathize with him, seemingly feeling that both he and O'Reilly were being unfairly targeted and silenced by those who opposed their conservative viewpoints. This further exacerbated the controversy, as many saw it as Hannity's attempt to deflect attention away from the serious allegations against O'Reilly and instead cast him as a victim of a liberal agenda. Mere weeks later, in October of the same year, Hannity once again found himself at the center of controversy when he vocally criticized Democrats in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein scandal, during which numerous women had courageously come forward with damning accusations of sexual misconduct against the powerful Hollywood producer. Hannity's remarks, which many perceived as an attempt to deflect attention away from the growing list of sexual harassment allegations plaguing prominent figures on the political right, sparked a significant backlash from critics who accused him of hypocrisy and a lack of accountability. The controversy surrounding Hannity's actions highlighted the complex and often divisive nature of the ongoing debate over sexual harassment and the responsibility of media figures to address these issues with integrity and impartiality. As a prominent conservative commentator, Hannity's comments were viewed by many as a partisan attempt to shift shift the narrative and shield his ideological allies from scrutiny, rather than a genuine concern for addressing the systemic problems of sexual misconduct in positions of power. The fallout from these incidents further underscored the delicate balance that media personalities must navigate when addressing sensitive socio-political issues, as their words and actions can have far-reaching consequences and influence public discourse in profound ways. Hannity's handling of these controversies ultimately raised questions about the role of opinion-based media in shaping the national conversation on matters of ethical and moral importance. Throughout this tumultuous period, Hannity's reputation and public standing continued to be called into question, with many questioning whether he was part of the problem or the solution when it came to the pervasive culture of sexual impropriety and abuse of power that had become all too prevalent within the conservative media landscape. Hannity, a prominent figure on the right-wing media circuit, had long been embroiled in controversies and scandals, with his unwavering support for conservative causes and his unapologetic defense of high-profile figures accused of misconduct fueling the ongoing debates about the role of media personalities in shaping public discourse. The Hollywood producer in question, known for his long-standing support of democratic causes, raised eyebrows among his peers when he came to the defense of his colleague, Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly, a prominent figure at Fox News, had been dismissed from the network due to a multitude of unethical harassment allegations made against him. This unexpected move by the producer, who had typically aligned himself with liberal ideals, led many to speculate about the nature of the relationship between these two media personalities, as well as the complex web of political and financial interests that often underlie such public disputes. Some observers suggested that the producer's support for O'Reilly was a calculated move to maintain his own influence and connections within the conservative media ecosystem, while others argued that it was a principled stand against what he perceived as a witch hunt targeted at his friend and colleague. Regardless of the motivations, the incident highlighted the deep divisions and mistrust that had come to characterize the media landscape, where political allegiances and personal allegiances often took precedence over journalistic integrity and ethical considerations. As the fallout from the various scandals continued to reverberate through the industry, Hannity's own role and culpability came under increased scrutiny. Critics accused him of perpetuating a culture of misogyny and abuse, while his defenders claimed that he was simply a passionate advocate for conservative values who had been unfairly targeted by a biased media establishment. The battle lines had been drawn, and the future of the conservative media landscape hung in the balance, as the industry grappled with the fallout from these high-profile scandals and the broader reckoning with issues of gender and power that had been thrust into the national spotlight. The consensus among seasoned political analysts and media commentators is that Sean Hannity, another prominent and outspoken Fox News personality, is likely to seize upon this latest development and escalate the situation even further. Hannity, who is renowned for his unwavering support of conservative values and his staunch defense of his colleagues within the network, is widely expected to actively engage with the producer's recent comments and potentially take legal or highly public action in response to these remarks. Should Hannity's actions and statements ultimately cross certain unspecified boundaries, it is a widely held belief among industry insiders that Fox News may ultimately be compelled to make the difficult decision to terminate his employment with the network. This potential scenario has captivated the attention of observers, who are closely monitoring the delicate balance between Hannity's fiery on-air persona and the network's desire to maintain a certain level of decorum and professionalism. Intriguingly, the timing of Hannity's recent relocation from his long-held base of operations in New York City to the state of Florida has raised further questions and speculation about the potential connection between his personal and professional life. Some industry pundits have posited that this geographical shift may be a strategic move on Hannity's part, potentially foreshadowing the impending end of his tenure at Fox News, and a desire to establish a new base of operations ahead of any potential departure from the network. The ongoing political drama has continued to captivate the attention and imagination of both the political pundits and the entertainment industry enthusiasts. The media landscape as a whole remains eagerly poised, awaiting the unfolding of the next pivotal developments in this captivating saga that has become a subject of intense fascination and speculation within the hallowed halls of power as well as the corridors of the Fourth Estate. This unfolding narrative has gripped the public consciousness, transcending the traditional boundaries between the realms of politics and popular culture. The airwaves, the social media sphere, and the endless comments commentary emanating from the news desks are all abuzz with the latest twists and turns as the various stakeholders, from the political elite to the astute armchair analysts, analyze, dissect, and prognosticate about the future course of events. The drama has assumed the proportions of a high-stakes theatrical production, with the protagonists and antagonists jockeying for position, engaging in a complex choreography of rhetoric, maneuvering, and counter-maneuvering. The public in turn has become enthralled, captivated by the sheer drama and the sense of unpredictability that permeates this ongoing saga, which has become the subject of intense media scrutiny and public fascination. As the various stakeholders continue to navigate the treacherous waters of this unfolding crisis, the media landscape eagerly maintains its vigilant watch, ready to document and disseminate the next chapter in this captivating narrative that has gripped the national consciousness and become the subject of intense debate, speculation, and analysis within the corridors of power and the public sphere alike. We appreciate your feedback in the comments on whether you found the video enjoyable. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay informed about our future updates. Additionally, you can click on the next video displayed on your screen to access more engaging content.